Welcome back to Healthy with Nicole. In today's video, I wanted to talk about something that I feel really strongly about, which is how to be a conscious carnivore. A lot of people are concerned that they are hurting the environment if they're eating a lot of meat. And actually, you can be very helpful to the environment. The reason is that ruminant animals, so lamb, beef, bison, goat, animals that ruminate on the grass and feed, they actually rebuild the soil and replenish the earth. They are one of the greatest ways that we can actually save the planet. On the other side of the coin, yes, there is some pollution created by a factory farm, and the conditions aren't as good, and the meat isn't, in my opinion, as nutritious as animals raised in pasture and on grass. So for that reason, I thought it would be helpful to talk about some of the ways that I like to practice being conscious with my carnivore diet. The number one way that I do that is by buying my meat from small farms. And so typically every month I will buy from 2 different farms, and I'll purchase things like their ground beef, and their steaks are really expensive. I will say that they are not the best way to go if you're looking for price, but you can buy really effectively ground beef and even other products like pork and chicken. So these are really great to buy from small farms because they typically are practicing these things that help the environment, and they're grass-fed animals. The other thing you can get is pasture-raised eggs. So obviously chickens from a factory live in a completely different environment than chickens that are running around on a farm, and the quality of the egg will be different. So I personally would not even eat a factory farmed egg. I only get mine from pasture-raised chickens on farms. And you can buy them in the grocery store too. If you don't have access to a farm, you can easily find these in the grocery store now. Another thing that you can do is practice nose to tail. So it's really easy now to find liver in stores, but not everybody carries things like the skin or the brain or the kidneys or the pancreas of animals. So I'm going to talk in another video, I'll link it over here, about organ meats. But for conscious carnivory, you want to eat nose to tail. You want to eat as much of the animal as possible. Use the bones for soup and bone broth. And that is a great way to use up all of the animal, so there's very little waste. You can even use, there's blood sausage. There's pretty much a use for every part of the animal. And then the other thing you can do is make sure that if you're buying fish and seafood, you want to get wild caught or line caught, and you can get that in cans from the store. I happen to have some people nearby. I live in Southern California, and we get fish. And I do have friends that go out and catch lobsters by hand, and we get some nice treats like that and fish from a line. So I realize not everybody has access to that, and so when you're buying these things, just make sure that they are either line caught or wild caught, and that will help you. So eating a carnivorous diet doesn't have to be bad on the environment at all. In fact, you can be doing the environment some great favors by not buying foods that are produced in factories and that require a lot of big crops like corn and corn syrup and things like that, which are pretty bad on the environment. So that's a whole other topic we'll talk about in another video, but for today, focus on getting your meats and animal products from a small local farm as close as you can, and buying wild caught fish whenever possible. If you like that video, give it a thumbs up, and I